Lukaku sends the Blues to the Club World Cup final after getting the decisive goal from close range. Watch until the end of this review to hear all of my thoughts on yesterday's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the match that took place yesterday evening at the Mohammed bin Zayed Stadium in the Club World Cup semi-final between Al-Hilal and Chelsea, which ended in a 1-0 victory for the Blues. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly I'll run you through the lineup that was fielded at the start of the match. I'll then be giving you guys my thoughts on the match itself, and yes, I'll be giving you guys the positives and the negatives that I took from the match, as well as my thoughts on the match itself. And lastly, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on the Club World Cup final. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So we shall begin this review by taking a look at the lineup that was fielded at the start of the match, and as always we're going to begin by talking about the formation that was chosen. And in the case of this lineup, it was a 3-4-3, and I'll be honest, I was not expecting that whatsoever, given that we've been playing really well in a back four recently. But it was a 3-4-3. It was Kepa in goal. The back three was made up of Andreas Christensen in the right centre-back position, Thiago Silva in the centre of the back three, with Antonio Rudiger in the left centre-back position. So that is the back three that started. The midfield four, including the two wing-backs, let me start that again. The midfield, including the two wing-backs, was made up of Cesar Azpilicueta at right wing-back, a central midfield pairing of Mateo Kovacic and Jorginho, with Marcos Alonso completing the midfield four by occupying the left wing-back position. Got there in the end, and the front three was Hakim Ziyech in the right forward position, Romelu Lukaku up front, and Kai Havertz in the left forward position. So that is the lineup that was fielded at the start of yesterday's Club World Cup semi-final. Let's move on. Now, in terms of my thoughts on the match, I'll be honest, I did miss the first 20 minutes as I was busy doing something for my degree. But anyways, I heard that the first 10 minutes were pretty tense and we were struggling to get into our rhythm. But I also heard that after that 10 minutes, or after the first 10 minutes, I say to be more accurate, we controlled the game and created some glorious chances. But from what I saw in the first half, we did create some glorious chances, and there was a chance that we really should have taken before we scored, and honestly, I really mean that. But in terms of the goal, I have to say it's some good play down our left hand side from Kai Havertz, who got the ball. Yes, some of you may argue that it wasn't his best piece of play, but you can understand why. He may have not been at his best in the entire game because he hasn't played in a long while. But anyways, he got the ball down the left hand side and he got past the defender for Al Hilal and he fed the ball into the box. It did take a couple of deflections, if I'm not mistaken, and it just fell to Romelu Lukaku, who couldn't miss, and he just fired it home, and it gave us the 1-0 lead. And in my opinion, at that point it was coming. After that, we did threaten more goals, but we didn't get any more in the first half, although we really should have. In my honest opinion, we really should have scored more goals. And overall, from what I saw anyways, I actually thought it was decent in the first half. But in the second half, I'll be completely honest. Um, it was a bit of it was a bit of a funny second half. I have to say it was end to end, although Al Hilal did have the better of the chances in the second half, and they did cause us all sorts of problems. They managed to beat our press on several occasions. They managed to get um, into positions where they could force us into making mistakes. I mean, we gave the ball away quite cheaply on a lot of occasions in the second half, and um, I'll be honest as well, we could have conceded a penalty on a couple of occasions because um, we were we were not really, what's the word? I've lost my words, but honestly, we really could have conceded a couple of penalties. Antonio Rudiger got away with one, maybe. Thiago Silva had an incident where he was tracking back and the opposition player went down, but for me, that wasn't a penalty anyway. Um, yes, we could have conceded a penalty, and um, they really did put on the pressure, particularly in the latter stages of the second half. I mean, um, they did play really well in the second half, in my opinion. And honestly, I'm not gonna get, I'm not gonna go into these players, like I'm not gonna like slate them too much because we can understand that these performances happen, these situations happen. There are a lot of things that are to consider. I'm not going to get into them, but yeah, they did not make it easy for themselves in the second half. But credit has to be given to Al Hilal. But anyways, we got the job done. Overall, not the best, not the worst, decent. I'd probably say there were some things that were quite questionable in terms of the play, and that will need to improve in the final. And I'll give you my full thoughts on that later on. But yes, overall, not the best, not the worst. We got through it, and we're in the final. In terms of the positives and the negatives, I've pretty much just given you the first one. I've taken two positives and only one negative. Um, the first one is that we got the job done without being at our best. I mean, sometimes this just happens and we just have to get through it. And yes, we can't keep playing this way, but if we're getting wins, then surely the players will find some confidence from it. And hopefully they do because we're in a final, and going into a final with no confidence is not something that we will accept, and it's as simple as that. But yes, that's the first positive. The second positive is that I thought Kepa was really good. He made some fantastic saves, and for me, the best save he made was that save he made where one of the Al Hilal players took that shot from distance, and it was curling, and it looked as though it was going to go into the top corner. But thankfully, he managed to save it with his left hand and only his left hand. Brilliant save, and tip it out for a corner. But yes, it was a brilliant save, and he had a great game. And honestly, I thought he was our man of the match. He was brilliant. But yeah, those are the two positives. Sadly, there has to be a negative, and it's the fact that we lacked rhythm in the second half, and that is probably due to the fact that Jorginho went off. Um, I think we did lose the midfield battle in the second half, but again, we got the job done, and that's me putting a positive spin on the negative. But yes, that's it for my thoughts on the match. Slightly shorter due to the fact that I did miss the first 20 minutes of the first half. But yes, that's all I can give you for my thoughts on the match. Please do feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll do my very best to respond. Let's move on. Now, to finish off, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on our upcoming Club World Cup final that will be taking place this Saturday against Palmeiras. And at the time of this recording, I'm not sure where it will be taking place, as in the stadium, but I'll be providing you guys with this information when I do my preview for this game. But, anyways, I am looking forward to it. Having said this, we will need to be at it from the get go because Palmeiras are no laughing matter. They are a fantastic side. They are the South American champions. So we have to be at it. And if we play the way we did, especially in the second half, in the semi-final, then we're in big trouble, and that's me being completely honest. But that's all I'm going to say now. I hope you all enjoyed this review. Slightly different, um, because I didn't think that I was going to be able to watch the match. But yes, here you go. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon. Come on, you Blues. Come on, Thomas Tuchel and the rest, and peace. Let's bring the Club World Cup home. Come on, Chelsea. See you all very soon.